as a man speaking, a woman's worth is not, it's not directly correlated to their value. In society, it is, and in certain visual aspects, it is. But like experientially, character-wise, it likely isn't. So I'm saying this because it's just like I've had so many inflated preferences, and I just think I wanted all of it, all the stuff that that you could get, a beautiful woman with a nice personality, but that's just not possible. I mean, it's probably not possible for me, it's possible for other people, and I've accepted that, and where I'm at right now financially, I just can't really ask for anything, and you say, I mean, I don't know, love is a complicated thing, and what it means for us versus it means for society is two different things, what we want might be a good personality, but at the same time, what other things we might want is a nice some physical intimacy, and some assurance, some trust, some vulnerability, and you can technically get that from somebody who may not look conventionally attractive. And I'm not saying you should go for the bottom, just the worst person with the worst personality, with the worst out of shape. I'm just saying, you don't have to look for whatever is the go-to girl today. Whether that is the supermodel or the Instagram, the supermodel in the 90s, or the Instagram models today, or the baddest chick in the group. We technically don't know their personalities, and who knows if they do too. I'm not sure I'm making a guess, but the thing is just like, because society's had so, this collectivized of people, put so much worth on a woman's body, and some people they agree with that they just don't do how do I describe it? I don't think they necessarily have to fully develop themselves or their personalities. I don't think they do, because it's pretty girl privilege. Whatever aspect that we like about somebody, it's just an extension of pretty girl privilege. They're gonna have high inflated standards because everybody affirms those inflated views. They give her inflated attention, give her a lot of attention. So, I think with anybody who would be in her position, they would have certain beliefs. It's just the same thing with child actors. Child actor syndrome, where they grow up and they still think that they're children and that they're kind of entitled to things. It's like a prolonged, what do you call it? A prolonged, it's not adolescence, but I guess a prolonged prepubescence. Because they had this idea that, hey, I'm still children, I'm a child, so it's like, of course you'll do things for me, But the thing is, you're kind of older, but your entitlements are not as cute anymore. It's kind of the same thing, And everybody, like even younger women, they kind of hit that mark, It's like, their entitlements aren't cute anymore. They used to be really hot and beautiful and this, that, and the third. But then their entitlements are kind of annoying. And before they were pretty, people was, totally fine with it because they were enamored by their beauty. All the stuff she said was just kind of bypassed because it's, I don't know, I could be wrong. It's almost like the same stuff in your brain that tells you you're in love. It's the same stuff that kind of has you bypass. It's like the same stuff that happens with these pretty women. Your mind, you're like, oh man, this man, she's just great, and she could be like fighting the waiter. You're like, man, that ain't no problem, man. I love me some her, only. And the thing, parasocial relationships, all this other stuff, it's just a lot. But it's just extension. All these connected networks probably centers in privilege, and this is just women. Imagine a guy who has kind of like a rich guy's privilege, like a wealthy privilege, a powerful man's privilege. He gets the pick of the litter. He goes somewhere, and don't get me wrong, and there's other people who they try to kind of hack the system, and they go to other countries, so they become another nation's powerful man. So they start, they say, hey, since the currency works for me in my favor, okay, what do I want here? I'm the powerful man, I'm the big guy, and you get a taste of that. And some folks, it's intoxicating. It's a lot of desire there. They're like, yeah, man, wow, this is how people feel, and they say they're enamored with you because they understand, hey, if you're a Westerner, you got a lot of money, they say, yo, yes, this guy's the big guy. And the thing is, it's funny because that experience is not really relative to living in America. I mean, it is when you're the top guy here, but the thing is, the common person only has an inflated experience outside of America. Like a rich person or a wealthy person here is a relative. It doesn't really matter if he's here or outside the country. He's still rich and he's still that top guy. But a average person, maybe even a poor person, for a day or a week could save up enough money, go to a different country and get a taste. So it's like, when you get a taste of power, in my opinion, it's intoxicating. Why would you want to go back? It's incongruent, and it just doesn't make any sense for people to have a taste of something that enriches their life, their quality of life so much, and then say, hey, it's time for you to go back to ice cream. You have filet mignon, now it's time to go back to this ice cream. It's like, I don't know if I really want to do that. I mean, you don't eat gelato anymore. You eat freaking Blue Bunny, and I like Blue Bunny, but like, you eat some of this store-bought ice cream now. It's like, oh, I want some gelato. I want some gelato with the caramel, with the little pecans and such. But that's my point. It's just living like this. I mean, I guess privilege is just not a privilege is something that you have, but you can't technically notice. You like, it's like when a poor person, they work hard and now they become a celebrity. So you change. Like, well, of course they change. Why would they not change? It's actually a weird thing if you don't change from that. If you stay humble. I'm just saying, like, people want to have this perception that we idolize answers, but we don't really prioritize questions. And we just got to do more of that, because we got to do more of that. We got to be a bit more curious about stuff instead of assuming that you should do the right thing. Like, of course, the right thing is good, but if nobody knows the answer to the right thing, I mean, if nobody knows, how did the right question or the right answer, how did that get found in the first place? And it has to make sense. It has to make sense for it to even be a right answer. People will just judge you because of you trying to figure it out, And I think that's unfair. We're all human, and if you out of elevated space, you're gonna have to try to figure this out. It's just like, as they say with parenting, even though parenting has a lot of books on how to parent, with people at the top, there's no manual about how to deal with all this attention. There's just not. How do you deal with narcissism? I'm like, if I could give you a manual, it would definitely be to keep reality testing with people who will treat you outside that sphere of influence. Keep reality testing. I think that's why Dave Chappelle, he stays away from like the city and stuff like that. He can go anywhere in the world that he wants to, but he stays at a humble place. He stays at an isolated place where people he cares about, and like folks like John Mayer. Hey yo, hey, what's up, John? How you doing? Da 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 da, blah blah blah. And their new normal kind of is celebrities, but like when you have the reality test, and you be around good people, and they say like he's a humble guy. Well, it's actually very, very helpful to be humble, but it's a skill you really gotta learn. And they say he's a good dude. You talk to him, I don't know. It's a lot of things that I'm presuming about these people with privileges, but not everybody admits that having their privileges is something they should be cautious for. And the thing is, it's just like in the Bible. Like if you say, if you try to hold on to this certain thing, this privilege you have, you're gonna lose it. But if you deny it, and Jesus says, hey, if you deny this word for my sake, if you deny the aspects of this word for my sake, if you deny all these negative things, all these good things, and Jesus is a character of good, a character of infinite worth. He's said to have died and rose again, and now he's with God. So he's a constant image of goodness. He's with God now. He's with So it's like, if you want to take this extremely figuratively, stop valuing the immediate things of this world because they're transient. They're not constant. But stick to the constants of good. And again, I'm sorry to make that something that like is not in Jesus, but it is a Christian concept. I was trying not to say a Jesus concept, but it's a Christian concept. And that helps you stay grounded. You stay. The thing you cling to is not this transient fame. It's goodness. It's the core of goodness, and that again, that's part of what the gospel means. I'm sorry, I'm putting my Christianity in there, but this is just something for anybody to learn. Like you have to stick to good. You have to keep practicing to not trying to dunk on other people while you're at a different position when you can. It's better to say should I versus can I, So